Hello, welcome to the His and Her Rewatch podcast, where we watch movies that he likes and watch movies that
she likes.
I am the His, Caleb, and with me, my beautiful wife, the Her, Megan. Megan, welcome to the show.
Hello, I'm the Her. Always her, right?
Always her. Welcome. All right, so we're doing a podcast. We did it. We're
those people now.
We're those people now. Like, I think everyone has done a podcast now, right?
Yep.
I think that's it. So why not? Why not join?
Why not us? Why not?
Why not join the club? So
apparently it's easy, right?
apparently. It's like plug and play. So we have, let's talk about how it got started.
It all started was we like to watch movies.
That's where it starts. We like movies. We watch a lot of TV and movies. And we enjoy it.
Yes.
We watch a lot together. I came up with this idea. I started thinking about rewatching all the old superhero movies and just the good, the bad, everything in between, and starting from way back in Superman all the way through the early 2000s before the MCU. And so I was really looking at trying to figure out, and I thought it was a good idea, and I had a couple of buddies thought it was a good idea. But it kind of didn't work out to do it by myself. And so Megan was gracious enough to want to do it with me. And so...
I'm so amazing.
So thank you. Thanks you felt sorry for me. But she was very supportive, so I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So then we were sitting at dinner one night, and we were just talking, and she's like, well, if I'm watching movies, why don't we watch some of the movies that I like? So...
That's right. Yeah.
That's fair.
You're forcing me to watch your movies. I'm going to force you to watch my movies.
So that was fair. I was like, well, so we thought the His and Her Rewatch was a good blend of things. Mm-hmm. And so mine, you're going to see a lot of his that are going to be some of your action, superhero, comedies, probably try to stay away from some of the raunchy ones, but
please.
But so that's, you'll see a lot of that. And what were your thoughts on what are you looking forward to making me watch?
I'm looking forward to making you watch a lot of the movies that I love and that you've never seen before, which blows my mind, but I'm sure you feel the same way about the movies that you've seen.
True.
That I've never watched or even heard of, some of them. But yeah, I think it's cool to just broaden each other's horizons on what we like and maybe try to convince each other that one's better than the other.
I think it's hard to compare
yeah,
genres.
It's gonna be completely different movies, obviously.
But I think what we'll see is, I think it's fun because we know we've been married for 16 years, been together for 19. And so
something like that.
So we know a lot of what each other likes in movies that we've grew up on watching, but
we've never watched what the other person watched. I've seen a lot of chick flicks, and we just have never gone down that road to watch it together. I don't know why.
Especially the older ones before,
yeah.
A lot of
the classics.
The classics,
yeah.
The ones that we'll get into, the 80s, the 90s that before we were together that we watched. I think that it'll be interesting. Like you said, there's some of them, I know a lot of them that you really like that I've probably seen bits and pieces of. And
same.
So it's
whenever they're on TV.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
You walk past it, your mom's watching it.
Yeah. Ones you roll your eyes at and you go play toys or video games back then, and so I wasn't exposed to them. But you've watched a lot of the ones that, you even watched some of those older ones that you love without me, and just it's just your guilty pleasure sometimes. And,
oh yeah.
And you're and not to bother you. So, but now
I kind of like to watch them alone. I don't know.
Now you have a platform to make me watch it.
That's right.
So if I get aggravated or not like him, and I feel well, this is my fault. This is what I signed up for, right? But I think a lot of them I will like. And some of them I'll be roll my eyes the whole time. and I can like
It
I
goes
can
both
see,
ways.
yeah. And I've already gone through some lists of some of the stuff that movies that I'm gonna do, and you've already rolled your eyes at some of them. So,
Yes.
but you're being nice about it. So
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
absolutely.
But thanks for being supportive on this.
Always.
And this is really fun. This is gonna be a lot of work. It's probably gonna be really bad at first, and we're gonna find our legs, and maybe maybe it'll last long enough for to get our legs at least
Yeah.
a flow, and so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe nobody will listen to it, but
We're having fun.
we're having
regardless.
fun. We're enjoying it. Our
It
kids
is
are.
kind of weird though to think about. It's like it's you're putting yourself out there for future people to listen to, because it's out there forever. So it's like it's out there. So people can either like it or not like it. And, at this point we're just doing it just for fun and, seeing if it sticks and if it works. And we're not out here to make money. We are just out here to have fun and chit chat.
It's a hobby. I was looking for a
Yeah.
hobby. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I was looking for a
absolutely.
hobby.
Hey, and I think podcasting is a great hobby. I think a lot of people do it, and sometimes it can turn into a good adventure for people, or it can just continue to be a hobby, and that's cool too.
It's like expanding like something we already do. So it's not like
Absolutely, yeah,
we're making something new.
right.
So, but I think it's funny. Like our kids are like all about it.
Yes,
They're like so interested, and they're like very supportive. And it's funny. I think it's funny. We'll get into it in just a second. And the first movie, but I think it's so funny. Like testing the microphones and making sure everything works.
Yeah.
And they want to do their own little few minutes of podcast. And like
Our youngest is great.
It's so great. It's
We'll have
like-
to have them on sometime. We've talked about that too, about maybe having them watch one of the safer movies that we choose and having them come on as a special guest to get their opinion on what they.
I think Jet is going to
think.
be the one that he's very articulate and
Yeah.
he has the information he knows. Like
Yeah, Jet is our youngest. He's 8 years old, so he's got a lot of opinion. I think he's going to be one of our movie buffs for sure.
yeah. And then Reed and Ella, they just giggled the whole time.
Yes.
They were in front of the camera. They red faced and giggly, and so it'll be. So it's fun though. They like the idea of what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
So anyways, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go. I got
All
lots
right.
of thoughts.
You got lots of thoughts. Now I'm scared, just after watching you watch the movie last night.
Or not watching.
That's me. So our first movie is Batman, the 1989 movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to start with. I figured our first two we should kind of set a tone of like what we like is like. So the Batman '89 is kind of older. It's a little bit before. It was right around my time, right before my time, as far as growing up. Like it came out like I was born in '84. It came out in '89. So it was.
So you didn't watch it when you
So I didn't
were,
watch it. I didn't
when
watch
you
it
were
in the
5.
theater. I didn't watch it in the theater.
I hope not.
So this movie, June 23rd, 1989. This is a Tim Burton film. You know anything about Tim Burton? You know
All I
him?
know is he filmed or he did that Nightmare on Elm Street. Is that right?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare-
Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe that one too. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, he did Edward Scissorhands too,
He
right?
did do
Wow,
Edward
look at me.
Scissorhands. Look at you. All right. I'll go ahead and talk about him for a second since you're right here. And so he did. So this came out in '89. Right before that, he did Beetlejuice, 1988. Then he did Batman. He did Edward Scissorhands in 1990.
Kind of makes sense now. Like now that I know like what he's done before, it kind of makes sense.
You can see.
I can see
it.
him all over it.
Exactly.
Costuming, the film technique, all of it.
It's all like you can see now.
He
You
definitely
see a
has a
couple of those.
signature.
Yeah, he definitely has a signature. But he was busting them out. I was surprised he was busting a couple of them out there in a row. Some really iconic, some classics right there. And he also did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Remember that one? I think we watched that with the kids not too long ago. Did you know the Wednesday the movie the TV show Wednesday on Netflix? He did 4 episodes of that and produced that. So
I bet I can pick him out too.
yeah. He definitely had a hand in that. Which we like Wednesday. Ella loves Wednesday.
Yeah, we watched that with our daughter.
The guys who I rewatching Smallville and listen to that podcast. The ones that created Smallville, also the ones that created Wednesday, And Tim Burton, they got one really wanted Tim Burton to do that, and he does have that tone for that TV show, and I think he did a really good job. I mean, I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. Like some of his
Yeah.
stuff, I'm not
It's
like.
a little weird.
It's
I don't, I
it's a little
can't lie.
dark. It's dark. I'm not
Yeah.
big into the dark.
But what he
gritty.
does do, he does it very
No,
well.
I really respect
and especially
what he
for people
does.
who like that kind of genre, it's done very, very well. And I feel like it's done tastefully as well as not the scary horror movies, which I mean, as you'll see whenever we pick movies, we are not the horror
No, you're not
film
gonna find
people.
any horror movies or
We
scary
don't like
ones.
any scary movies.
So-
That goes for both of us.
So if that, sorry to disappoint any of y'all,
yeah,
just not
so
gonna
you will
find
not be
scary,
having any scary
scary and
movies.
horror movies. That's not us. So
No.
you might have some suspenseful ones in there and things like that we like,
Yeah.
but not really scary, especially not gory or horror.
No.
But and I think Tim Burton, he kind of tiptoes that line right
He
there.
does. He really does.
But I really respect him as a director and what he's done. I'm just some of them aren't my favorites and stuff, but I can see why people really enjoy it and like his stuff. So definitely got his hand in that. But Batman '89, it was the number one grossing movie that year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. It beat out Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
No way.
Yeah, so-
Wow.
And that was like
Is that the first Indiana Jones?
no, that was the third one. That was the last
Oh,
one.
wow.
That was one of the better ones. That was it changed. You know, they had to really change that after Temple of Doom.
Yeah, we
That
just
one
recently
didn't work.
started watching
we-
those
we wa-
with the
we-
kids.
we didn't watch them with the kids.
Not all of them, but we
didn't
watched a
watch-
couple.
I think we rewatched them not too long ago to see if the kids would like it.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
I think we found out that
No.
I don't think they're ready for it.
There was a couple of really scary parts that I was okay. This is PG-13. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially back then.
Yeah, fighting them Nazis though. They got their.
For sure.
But yeah, when they opened up the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes.
That was not going to be a
No.
good one for the kids to watch. Not going to watch that. But we did rewatch the three original
Yeah.
movies. But yeah, the Last Crusade it beat out that year. It was
That's crazy.
so. All right. So had you ever seen Batman before?
This Batman.
Yes.
I don't think so. There's like parts that I feel like it was familiar, but I don't think so. Like the Joker character, I'm pretty sure I've never seen that before, and I
Really?
think if
You've never seen Jack Nicklaus.
No, I've never seen Jack Nicklaus as the Joker. I knew he was, but I never saw him as the Joker.
Wow.
So no, I don't think I've ever seen it at all. No,
Wow.
because I think if I saw it, I would remember it.
Maybe. Now, have you seen any other because Batman '89 started the run in
Right.
the '90s. You had Batman Returns, which both of them were Michael Keaton.
I don't think I
And
saw
then
any with him
So
in
then
it.
you had Batman Forever. It came out in '95. That was more.
Who was that one?
That one was Val Kilmer.
Okay,
Sorry,
yes, those are the ones I saw.
Val Kilmer.
Which one
No,
was-
Val Kilmer did one, and then
Okay.
Batman and Robin is when
George
George
Clooney.
Clooney.
Yes. No, I
Correct.
did watch those. Those are the only ones I think I've seen.
Okay.
I don't think
And
I saw
they're
anything
different
Michael Keaton.
now. Tim Burton didn't do those two. He did Batman and Batman Returns.
Okay.
So he had a different. They changed things. It got the tone changed a
director,
lot.
changed
director. Changed
actors,
yeah, and
yeah.
it got a lot more campy. You got a lot more comic-y. You got
A lot more? We'll get into that later.
maybe. But it got even worse, and it got progressively worse. But I mean, Batman Forever was really the movie I mean, Batman Forever came out in '95, and that's
Yeah.
when I was like a preteen.
Yeah.
I mean, I was impressionable, and I was like, I thought that was the greatest movie. Like, I still think it's great. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. I'm like, I understand why people hate it and the way it's done.
Is that the one with the Riddler?
The Riddler and
Yes,
Two-Face,
that's the one I've
Tommy
seen
Lee
many
Jones,
times,
Jim Carrey,
yes.
all
I
that.
liked that movie. I thought it was good.
I mean, at the time I did. I'm like, and it's hard
but maybe
not
it's because
to still
I watched
like
it. Maybe because we watched it when we were young, and so
Oh,
that
definitely.
was still what we see is what we saw when we were young. You know.
Definitely. I feel that way. It's a lot of nostalgia in it, and it's like I was a huge Jim Carrey fan back then. Like, I mean, he was
Who
peak,
wasn't?
He was peak Jim Carrey at the time. Like, And I remember watching. He used to be on In Living Color, and
Oh yeah.
and I would react out what he did from In Living Color, like on film. Like I'm glad those are like
Yes.
gone. Those are not nowhere to be found. But I would go around and act like he did in Living Color. But I was a Jim Carrey guy. Still
Yeah,
think
I can totally see that.
yeah, it's okay.
Now, have you seen this movie before?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember when I first saw it, and I mean, I've seen it several times. It's been a while. I did watch it a couple of years ago. I think it came on TV, and that's when I would have seen it when it came on TV.
Yeah.
And I was definitely more into Batman than in Batman Returns. I think Batman Returns got a lot darker and grosser. I did not like.
That's the second one.
That's the second
Okay.
one.
I
Tim
can't
Burton
keep up
did
with
it.
any of the names.
Okay.
I'm like,
Fair.
who was in
It's
it?
not one. It's not
what character?
It's not numbered, and that one had.
I know. Batman 1 or Batman 2?
the Batman Returns, the second one. That Tim Burton did that one too. That one had Michelle Pfeiffer and as Catwoman.
See, I do
and
remember
Danny
that one. I think I
DeVito.
did watch that.
Had Danny DeVito
Oh,
as the Penguin. Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that one.
I just remember his take on that, and it was like,
It
he was
was
just
dark.
a gross
That was
character.
really
He was a
dark.
gross character, so I didn't like that one as much as Batman. So you never seen it all the way through, maybe.
Ever.
You've never seen
Let's
it.
just say never.
Never
Saw it.
Okay. All
I
right.
knew it was there, never saw it.
It was there. Now, did you know what you were going to be watching? Did you have a feeling like this was going to be?
I think I had. I don't know. I like to go into. I'm the type of person where I don't really want to watch a trailer. Like, I don't want to be spoiled because I feel like they put all the good parts in the trailer, and then I don't want to be spoiled. So I like to go in with no preconceived ideas. Obviously, I know who Batman is.
Right.
I've seen the Batman movies.
Who's your favorite Batman? Go ahead and tell the audience who's your favorite Batman.
Oh, Christian Bale.
Okay. Yeah.
I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah, a lot of people love Christian Bale.
Those are definitely my favorite Batman movies. Is Christian Bale. I feel like that he does a really good job of portraying the character. But that's not the movie we're talking about today.
That's not what we're talking
That's not what
about?
we're talking about today.
So, did you expect to see a movie similar to?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, actually, no. I think I expected to see a movie similar to the Val Kilmer Batman movies.
Okay.
Which is because that's what I grew up with, was watching
Okay.
that. Now, this was 1989, so I could not even tell you the last action 1989 movie I watched. You know, I am a girl. I have a sister, no brothers.
Well, Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. You watched that one,
Maybe.
but not growing up.
No,
You're
not
talking
growing,
about
up. Not
You're
growing
talking
up.
about,
We
like,
watched Star Trek and Andy Griffin. So, no action shows. I mean, I guess you could call Star Trek action.
but it's more of an
But it was
explorer
also a
movie.
TV show.
Yeah.
So I really didn't have a idea going into it. I guess my overall feeling of after watching it was that I feel like it could go both ways. It could go, this is really weird and I don't like it. But I also can appreciate the craftsmanship of a 1989 film. Okay, because they don't have the technology we have. And I can also like appreciate it as a genre, you know, like it's not a lot of showy. It's just like very raw. And I think that's what I liked about it.
Okay.
It was very like I wrote down comic book feel, like the whole
Right.
Batman costume with the yellow, you know, emblem. Like that's not what they had, you know, in the new Batman. It's completely black, all dark shadow. You know, the deep voice. I'm Batman. You know, and you know he did not do that.
Well,
What was his name again?
Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton. We'll get into the
Did he do
actors
a deep
and stuff.
voice? I don't think he did.
Well, he started it. He did, and I read something that he's the one who started the deeper voice because he went to Tim Burton and said, "Hey, look, how they gonna they're gonna be able to figure out who I am?"
Yeah.
Like, so he did do like a slightly deeper voice, and
Yeah.
so that even translated to the animated show. And the Christian Bale, I think Christian Bale really
It's the real
leaned
voice.
into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The changing of the voice. Everyone has their impersonation of Batman because of that. But yeah, he did like lower his voice to disguise it. So he did.
Well,
stuff
and
that.
I like, because I think that was one thing about like Val Kilmer that I liked, is that he didn't do a lot of talking. Like he's not gonna do a monologue in the Batman voice. That's what I felt like. He didn't talk a lot, and I think that's kind of how I picture Batman as the quiet but deadly type. But I felt like the movie was very nostalgic. Like I could totally see, grown-ups going back and watching it and just feeling like nostalgic, like just Batman on a metal lunchbox, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like very nostalgic, give you that nice warm feeling.
Yeah.
And it was just like they actually took them from the comic book pages and put them in a movie. And I think people who grew up reading those kind of comics would appreciate that at the time, And
Yeah.
I think that's why they filmed it that way. And it is like, again, now that you said it was Tim Burton, I totally see that. Like, I feel like Tim Burton is very, like, the way his movies are very robotic. Like, they're not fluid, like a story. And I think he does it on purpose.
More like still.
Yeah, like
stilled
very
and stuff and
still,
not
like
flowing.
like when you go to another scene, it's like very fluid and it has like transitions. Like his are very like, cut next. And they're all like that. Like I couldn't even think of Beetlejuice is the same way. Like it's very like next scene. I think that's just his style, and I think that,
Not a lot of moving cameras, it feels like.
No.
maybe.
It looks like one camera filmed the whole movie. But that's why I said, like, you could go either way. You could either say, wow, I really hate this movie, or you can think about it a different way and have, a better look on it. Don't just completely dismiss it because it's not a modern time movie. Because I think that's what's really hard with, as us as young adults, we've seen such great, amazing films, and then we go back and we look and we're like, okay,
That's not what I remember.
No, well, I mean, it's like watching Star Wars, like the old Star Wars movies where, the graphics are not as great, or, the lasers and all that
The
kind of stuff.
lightsabers, you have like very few lightsaber battles and stuff. Now it's all
Right.
about the
Action.
how action.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing, was like there wasn't a lot of long action
No,
scenes,
it wasn't
which I
action.
kind of appreciate. I feel like it can go on and on forever, like car chases, and
Yeah.
those are like very much in the films now, like you can
yeah.
have like a 10-15 minute car chase easily.
Well, everything had to be practical. I mean,
Right.
they had like very small, like very little CGI effects for that time, and so it was kind of adding little things for CGI, but it was like it was practical, and everything had to be, done real, and so they had to like figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But this is 1989, and so before this we had the Adam West Batman. Do you remember this?
No.
The Adam West Batman?
No.
Like very. This is like the 60s Batman with the.
Oh, I think that's what I thought this was going to be.
Oh, you okay?
Okay, that's what I thought this
Okay,
was
you thought
going
this
to
was
be.
gonna be
I
that.
do
See,
remember
this is-
those.
See that's
That's the one with the blue suit, right?
Right, more
yes,
blue suit,
This
like,
is what I thought
okay.
it was going to be.
Yeah.
So it was better
better
than
than
what
that.
I thought.
and see back then it was just funny because you hear a lot of like the show back then in the 60s. It was like father and son would watch it together, and the fathers would think it as like a comedy and just very cartoony, silly, and the kids that watched it would think it was like the coolest thing they've ever seen. And so so I thought that was funny how that, and then in the comic books in that time in the 70s were very toned down and stuff. And now in the 80s is really when things changed in comic book wise. They had Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, very dark, a lot darker, setting a totally different tone, and that's you could tell that's the inspiration they were getting a lot, was that darker, grittier transition to more of a Batman. What we see now was started in the 80s, and so I always thought it was interesting, and like they even had like that was what Michael Keaton used The Dark Knight Returns to learn how to do the character. And so I always thought that the 80s really changed Batman, like where he was in the 70s and early 80s and stuff, and moved. And it was some of the comic books that came out, and the Batman 89 when it came out, it really changed the tone of where Batman and what we get today. Did I ramble on enough? That was, you zoned out on me. I got too nerdy on you already.
He knows the look already.
Uh,
I was gonna say, speaking of Batman, Michael Keaton as Batman. I was just curious. I don't know why. The whole time I was watching the whole movie, why Michael Keaton? Like
yeah.
nothing against him, but why? Why him?
Okay,
And
let's
I,
talk
and I,
about Michael Keaton.
and I
What's
think the
good?
same thing about George Clooney.
Yeah.
Why George Clooney? But again, because this is me looking from the future, looking past. I don't know what was going on
Well,
then.
Michael Keaton was big controversy of him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about. We'll go back. We'll talk about. We'll go ahead and talk about him for a minute. So, Michael Keaton was a comedian.
Right, I know.
So he was a comedian. There were lots of actors considered for the part. You want to name some of them?
Sure, that'd be great.
So actors that were considered: Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, Charlie Sheen, Tom Selleck, Bill Murray, Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, I like him.
So and he was approached, but Pierce Brosnan did not want to do a comic book character.
No way.
So Warner Brothers, they wanted an action star. Tim Burton, he wanted Michael Keaton.
Quirky Michael Keaton, I think. That's why.
When they were announced that he was going to play the part of Batman, the comic book fans did not like that idea.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
As your question about it, and I saw that they had 50,000 letters written to Warner Brothers.
Oh my God.
Against Michael Keaton doing it. And
they said we're gonna do it anyways.
I saw something that they released the early trailer into one of the theaters in California or whatever, but they released this trailer, and it got a standing ovation. The trailer got a standing ovation in the theater after that, so they knew they had something. So Michael Keaton, like, he took the role seriously, he'd just come off of Beetlejuice with Tim Burton.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
So
Okay, that makes sense.
He was
now.
with Tim Burton in Beetlejuice.
He was the Beetlejuice.
No.
No.
Yeah.
He was. Okay. Yeah.
He was Beetlejuice.
So I think that's how I got the part.
Maybe it helped to give him part at Tim Burton. Maybe saw some acting chops there. But
he was great in that. I mean, it's so great in that movie people forgot he was in it. I feel like that makes you a great actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I felt the same way with Jack Nicklaus. Like, once he put on that makeup, I forgot that's who that was.
He was the Joker.
I forgot who
he was the Joker.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, absolutely. So he definitely gets best acting.
Look at best acting.
Movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Spoiler, that was one of our categories.
Yes. So him and then the girl in the movie. I can't remember her name.
Oh, you're talking about Kim
Val?
Basinger? They played Vicky Val?
Vicky Val, yeah.
Yeah.
She was also really, really great.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like she did a good job of playing both roles. I feel like she was the detective, but she was also the love interest for Bruce Wayne. But yeah, I think Jack Nicklaus, again, looking from the future past, we have, dang, what's that Joker's name?
Oh, the movie. Heath Ledger. Sorry.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. We after all that, as great of acting as
You gotta
he
cut
did,
all that out. No way.
As great of acting he did.
Okay, let me
for that
start over.
part. Okay. Yeah, keep going. You're fine.
So from looking from the future, from now to past, I've already seen a Joker. So, we've seen Heath Ledger as Joker, which in my opinion was phenomenal. Okay. Like, absolutely.
And he had
phenomenal.
that, and when they casted him as Joker, he had that Michael Keaton.
Oh, absolutely,
thing against him,
absolutely.
Like,
He's
the way
been,
he did.
He was always the romantic comedy movies,
Yeah.
or just even romantic movies,
But, yeah.
And he's just a phenomenal actor, anyways. And I feel like he was that type of person, probably like Michael Keaton too, where he was, typecasted as this character, and he wanted to, step out of that, and he didn't want to be that way.
And he nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, nailed it and beyond. And so that
But let's looking at Jack Nicklaus is Batman. Like, the studio wanted him though.
Oh,
they
and I mean, I
him.
think he
after
was,
The Shining.
I could totally see. Yes,
they
after
took,
The
they,
Shining.
They
yes.
took the picture
of
of him going
thing.
through the door of The Shining, and they put Joker makeup on it and said, "This is what we want." So he turned down the role.
Which we also have not seen The Shining.
No, we're not seeing. Like, I think he's like.
I've seen bits and pieces, and it was amazing. That's all I need to see.
Yeah, I believe everybody that this is amazing.
Yes.
So Jack Nicholson turned out, they were his top pick for like years, and I think Tim Burton or the studio or somebody at the studio approached him in like 3 years before the movie to get him, and he turned it down. Robin Williams really he was up for the role, but Robin Williams he really pushed for himself to be in it. You know, he was doing it, and so they used that as leverage to get Jack Nicklaus.
Wow.
So they led Robin Williams on that he was going to play the Joker, and just so they could get Jack Nicklaus to do it. And Robin Williams did not take it well.
I'm sure.
He did not like
would
that.
Not either.
They even wanted him to play the Riddler, and he would not do it because of what
Wow.
they did to him
Hey,
for the
I don't
Batman.
blame him.
So I don't blame him.
It would be
on
hard
that.
to see him in that role, I think. I mean, I know he's.
I mean, he can do anything. I mean, he's kind of
absolutely.
He kind of Robin Williams was amazing. Everything he did.
Oh yeah.
And he had some really serious roles. He was not just a
Funny
comedic
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
He had good acting chops too. So he would have done great at. I think he would have done great at it. But I mean, it's hard to see it without Jack Nicklaus. Now I was like crazy. So
yeah. Well, and I think that and again, it's like I said, I've said it. I'm gonna say it a million times. Again, looking in the past, because we have seen all these other Batman movies. I feel like, to me, this movie was about the Joker. And that's a weird way to look at it.
No, it is,
but I
definitely.
felt like he was the standout character, obviously the standout actor, but it was on purpose. You know what I mean? And again, I think that's Tim Burton's intention, because that is kind of his genre. You know, Beetlejuice was the standout, and everybody else was just kind of there and supporting role. And I think what was really cool, kind of talking about not only just his acting and that is like the costuming.
okay,
You know, like
Yeah.
I think that was so cool. Like even before he was the Joker, he was dressing like the Joker.
Yeah, he had the
You
purple
like how I
suit.
caught that?
Yeah, he had the purple suit.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
he was wearing the Joker outfits before, and of course, you know, we've also seen the Joker, the movie, you know, and how that came about. And I think that was the one thing that bothered me, which they did do a little bit. I wouldn't say it's a plot hole, but I would say I think I was missing a lot of past like story about each character.
Okay.
And I think, and I wrote that down here, was like, I felt like the movie was set up in a way that you're supposed to already know who these characters are. And it probably was, because most people do know who these people are.
They did leave it where like they didn't know who Bruce. Oh, I didn't like that. They didn't know. They act like they didn't know who Bruce Wayne was.
Well, most Batman movies start off with him as a child and having that happen. And they
Well,
kind of led to that when they did the first scene, was like the mom and the
You
dad
thought that
with
was
the son.
them.
I did!
You did. I did too. I'm like, I don't remember them doing it like this. I'm like, and then they called him a different name.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember this. I'm back with it. I remember this now.
I mean, they did do a nod to it, yes, in the middle of the
But
movie.
they did do it to
yeah.
show it. And then, well, that was the whole thing. Okay, so let's talk about how the Joker actually has an origin story here.
Right.
And
Which they did touch on, like.
well, they
Bruce
touched on this
did
earlier.
bring
He
that
has
up,
a
yeah.
he has a Jack Napier. Like he has a name. He has an origins. Like we didn't see that in the Heath Ledger. A lot of stuff we don't see in origins of the Joker.
But I
And
feel like
even-
in those movies, like there wasn't a need for it, I guess, and I don't know why. Like I don't know why that's
I've
that
always
way.
liked, and personally, I've always liked where the Joker always the mystery of where
Right.
he came from.
Why is he who he
Why
is?
is he
Yeah.
who? Like the mystery. I always enjoyed that in later incarnations of the Joker, like in the comics and everything. You're like I just like not knowing. I mean, it worked for the story. And what did you think about Jack being the one who kills his parents, Bruce's parents? Like, did you like that part of it? Is that
I think from the storyline of this movie, yes.
okay?
I think it made sense in this movie, but as Batman's story overall, no.
You can see where it wouldn't.
I can see where that doesn't work out. Like I feel like it's better for it to be, because it almost ended up being like a oh shoot, what's the name of that other superhero?
Like Superman, or what are you talking about?
Like the Flash. Like that was kind of his whole reasoning of being a superhero, is to take vengeance on his mom's death. That whole thing, you know. And I felt like he was always searching for that person who killed his mom.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt like that's kind of what they were trying to do with this one, was like he's taking vengeance on the people who killed his dad, and instead of I was also thinking like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the same way, where they set it up where that's kind of how he ends up becoming a superhero, because he's trying to
Well, like
avenge
a lot
his
of,
parents.
I think a lot of,
I mean, I got a lot of superheroes.
A lot of
you're right.
superheroes is like,
Same story
yeah,
line.
yeah.
I don't know. I guess, like I said, I think it makes sense in this movie, but it was kind of surprising, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I noticed it right away. I told you when we were watching
Yeah.
it. I'm like, oh my God, that's Joker.
I mean, why didn't they just get him to play Joker? I mean, that guy was like, he looked just like him. Like, he was
did
like,
look really good.
I was like,
I know.
I was like, now they would just like take the CG or de-age,
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus and make him like, they didn't have to get another actor, but they did have to find another actor and to do that. So, that those are kind of like plot points that are they were for the story, and knowing it's a different universe and things like that are like, okay, you could,
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
So, how the Joker became the Joker in
Okay.
this movie? Okay. So right away, obviously, I'm realizing this is very similar to Harley Quinn and how she became.
Yeah. Yeah. She was doing the same thing that he did, how he became.
Now, is that what? Because again, we never saw how Heath Ledger became the Joker. We never saw how, what's that actor's name from the Joker movie?
That's Joaquin Phoenix in the
Yes.
Joker movie, and then
We never saw how he became that. So like, I've never seen.
his is a little bit different.
We never
Within the
seen how he
chemicals.
became. Well, actually, I take that back. In Heath Ledger's, he said, he was carved. He had this.
Well, he always had a different story too.
That's true. Okay, yeah,
And so
you're right.
that was the whole thing.
But I didn't know if that was
the mystery of it. That's what's.
I didn't know if that was like
Joker.
from the comic book standpoint. I didn't know like if that's how he became
With the ace chemical, they
Joker.
call it
Yeah.
Axis chemicals in this, which threw me off. I'm like, oh, that's Axis chemicals, not ace chemicals, like it is everywhere else. But
But so
like,
that's
but the falling into the vat of chemicals that make him the Joker, and I mean that's that's pretty basic origin story of the Joker. You see a lot of that in different ones, that he falls into a vat of chemicals, green chemicals that always green in ace chemicals or axis or whatever they want to call it. But so that's his typical origins of it. So at the end, you have the whole line is like, I made you, no, you made me, or
Yes,
it's like you made me first.
I did like that. I thought that was
So
a
it was
nice,
a
good turn.
So they made each other. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what they were saying, and so I think made good for the plot of it.
Yeah. It made a
Self-contained,
nice circle
It
there.
made a
Which I think a lot of people as viewers like to have is a nice closing of that conclusion.
So going back, what we were talking about, like, I didn't understand how they did not know who Bruce Wayne was. Like, he's the richest man in Gotham.
Oh, all the other characters.
All the other characters, like, okay, Vicky
Hi,
Vale.
I'm Bruce Wayne.
Vicky Vale was like, okay, she's new to
It's
town.
like that in every movie, though. In every Batman movie,
But they
he's
know who
always
Bruce
introducing
is.
himself.
But they're at a benefit on his behalf.
At his
like,
house.
At his house. Like, how is he a mystery? Like, okay, the I don't remember the guy's name. The Knox, the reporter, the other reporter.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll give Vicky Vale a pass.
Well, she's
but-
not from there.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But how does this guy, who's a reporter in the town, not know who Bruce Wayne is?
Yeah.
And
Or even Jack. Jack didn't know who he was either. There was one time where he meets him and he was like, "Oh, who's
yeah,
this?"
well, I
You
mean,
know?
they're obviously in different circles. Like,
Yeah.
like.
He's a gangster.
He's
I
a
think he would know who
gangster,
people
and they really leaned
Yes,
into the
they
gangster,
did.
like the pinstripe suits.
Loved it. Absolutely
I was like,
loved
the
it.
hats, all of them were just straight up gangsters.
Costuming was fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. I really appreciated that.
That was like, and then like that was like pulling from like the '40s comics of
That's
Batman.
why I think it was so nostalgic, and I think that they did such a good job of wrapping that all together. Was that 1980s attire? No, but or maybe it was. I don't know.
What was '80s gangster attire for then? I don't know. Maybe similar. I don't know. The Tommy guns. They had the Tommy guns. You have like.
Couldn't say.
Yeah, the whole Tommy guns thing. It was. I loved like, okay, this movie gets campier and campier as it goes on. Like, and so you got and the henchman. I loved it because like his I forgot what was his right hand man's name. He shoots him.
Bob,
yeah. He just straight up shoots him like he just appoints him. I'm like, just shoots him. Like Batman doesn't have to get rid of him or nothing. Like he does a good. He's like with him through everything and just so
Oh
Joker.
no, Bob was the second one, the second guy, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Bob
But-
was the one that was throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah,
was
okay,
him.
that's
And he
the one.
just
He
shoots
shot him
it.
in the end?
He
Okay,
shot
I don't
him like
remember.
in the parade after whatever.
Oh, I think I fell asleep at that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
They just straight up shoots him. But like they have like, and they get these like jackets, these jackets. They
Joker-
had the
the
Joker
Joker
on the jacket. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
they
And
used
so
the
I'm
Joker
like,
face and everything.
and I'm like, okay, that's funny, but like, okay. And then the Joker helicopter comes out.
I did see that part.
And it was like the green with the Joker on
Loved
it.
it.
I'm like, okay, now we're camping. Now we're going, but
I loved it. I think I think it speaks back to that. I think that was his purpose of being nostalgic for everybody.
So I thought it was hilarious. I don't think that holds up very well, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of henchmen, I have to bring myself to my favorite scene of the entire movie. And I think you would either agree or know which scene I'm talking about. It's the best. It would have to be the restaurant scene or an art museum. I'm not quite sure what that was.
we
Where-
just I
but
guess
they were eating food around table.
they were
but
eating food in the art. Okay, okay, they're in the art. I got the problem I have with this scene was why is none of the art protected at all? I mean, this is supposed to be expensive art, right? This is supposed to be like just no shield, no nothing.
Which makes me think maybe it was just a restaurant. I don't know.
It's a restaurant.
But the fact that they
like it's-
bust into this restaurant. First of all, they used the smoke, which was awesome. The
Yeah.
purple smoke.
Purple smoke,
But then
yeah.
they bust in
Gotta put
those
a color in
doors
it,
with
yeah.
a guy with with the
The
boombox
boombox,
on his
yes,
shoulder.
yes.
Music was awesome, and there was one guy I could not keep my eyes off of him. It was the Oriental guy. I think later on he ended
Yeah.
up being the
He won
ninja
this-
guy.
Yeah, we had all the swords. I
all the
think.
swords.
Yep.
But he was just dancing and moving. It was awesome, and then just them destroying the artwork and everything. That was great, and it was very long.
Yeah, that lasted a while, and then like
I
the
loved
whole
it.
time, Vicky's up there just sitting, waiting on him, just
She's not
waiting
looking for an escape.
No,
she's
no,
just waiting to be
just like,
captured.
okay, there's got to be a back door to this place. Like, there's like 5 people and Joker. They're way far away. There's no kitchen to go through. It is like I already gave you a mask. Like,
Which is
I love
again,
how the like they walk in like 3 seconds after the after everybody passes out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like
the passing out part was the best. I mean, I'm
falling
talking
into the dessert.
people falling over the ledge. Like, why are you that close to the ledge?
People just fall over like that. In movies, it's
they
hilarious
showed,
when they do
They
that.
showed this one guy after he had already passed out. His legs, he was face down. His back legs were up in the air. How are you stiff? Did it freeze you?
What was
You didn't.
this?
Not only did you pass out, but you were frozen in time.
And then like I just like it's like 3 seconds after the smoke's gone, like it's safe to breathe again. Like
Yeah.
we can just breathe it now.
That's crazy.
And okay,
And then everybody's still asleep or dead. I'm not quite sure.
we don't even know. They probably died. Probably died. But
Probably.
they run the risk of walking into the.
So was that your favorite scene as well, or did you have a different one?
I don't know. I don't know if that was my favorite scene, but I definitely enjoyed that. We enjoyed that one together.
We did.
We did enjoy that together at the time. When, we cracked up at this one too. When he's up in the board meeting or whatever they're doing, the gangster meeting.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And he has the Joker ring handshake that completely like
Toasted.
like Indiana Jones style.
Yes.
So 80s style. Callback.
It was like all of us, like it was a man, and then poof, it was a skeleton.
It was a burnt
skeleton.
I'm like, wow, what is he? Wow. And like, I could imagine the smell, like the smoke and the smell. That's all I'm thinking of. I'm like, no one is like dying from the smell of
Oh
it.
my god.
That
That was great.
that
I
was
did
great.
like that one. Yeah. I know. I'm like, what kind of device is that? Like, get me one of those.
Very comic booky on the nose, very campy. It was, but very, very Joker like.
Yes, and I can't say that I had a scene I did not like. I mean, there were a couple of snooze fest scenes. I'm not gonna lie,
Well, like you said,
but I know it has to be there for storyline.
But like what we talked about, like we started talking about, where the action in the movie was like something to be desired, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like even to the car chase scene. Okay, like the first time we see Batman and he comes in and he beats these 2 guys up on the rooftop. Like he does nothing to them really.
Yeah.
And like, and we'll go ahead. Well, I want to bring in the suit Okay, this suit that Michael Keaton is in looks the most uncomfortable thing to move around in.
Spandex.
And like, it's not even spandex. This is rubber. This is like just a like a
But
like,
doesn't all Batman costumes look hard to move in?
they do, like, but they're a little more practical in the newer ones. But this one's just straight up like
Like rubber glove material.
this is like a fetish style, like like rubber suit.
You went there.
Sorry. So it is like, and I've seen like parts where he's like putting the cowl on. Like it takes like 4 people to like grab it and like wrap it around his head to put it on. And like apparently he couldn't hear in it either at all.
I can
like,
imagine.
Like he couldn't hear in the
Or probably
in the
see.
cowl. Yeah. And so like, and I think he had a good setup where he didn't have to do muscle. He had to work out for this thing. He had like he had his own muscles like built into the suit, so he didn't like they just.
He
put
looked
this in
good
there.
though. He looked. I mean, obviously we didn't
good.
see
Like,
him without his shirt
suit,
on.
The suit itself is very iconic. It's very.
Yes.
It's,
The yellow
It
was
looked
really what
great.
stuck
The
out to
yellow
me.
pop.
Yeah.
The cape. Everything worked, but it was just like he could not move his head. Like he could.
Yeah.
You could sneak up.
It was very
you could sneak up
straight
to the
on.
side of it, just like.
Peripheral.
And I think the guy, like when they're in the chemical place and he like hits the guy like running and he's like standing backwards, he just like throws the fist up backwards. Like that's all he could do. I think fighting wise, like this is the most I can move, so we'll just make this part of a scene.
I didn't really notice that. I just felt like that was part of him being Batman. I didn't notice that it was very. I mean, now that you say it, yes, I noticed that it was very obvious. But I just thought that was part of him being Batman and part of the atmosphere. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
Part of what was going on.
It does. I mean, like they're being as it so iconic and like that's just how it is. Like that's
I mean,
what
that's
makes
how Christian Bale Batman.
That's what makes
that's how he fights.
That's what makes Batman now. Like you look back, like I guess that's how he's supposed to move, but like he didn't have the spandex or like. I mean, he had to make it tough, I guess. Like he had to make it like he gets shot so many times and never like it just doesn't do anything. But
yeah, I love it when he gets shot and people are so surprised that he's still alive, and that's like, oh man, he's not dead. What is this? And then he's like, I'm alive. Oh, and that's the part where he gets shot in the silver. Silver
I don't know
tray.
what that thing was made of in the tray. And that goes back
Uranium.
to that goes. Hey, very good, good.
Thank you. I'm not always asleep.
I do make you watch all the newer ones.
I do.
We've
I
been
know
watching all
those.
the newer ones.
I impress myself. I'm not gonna lie.
You remember that stuff. Vibranium. So
I think I said it wrong. That's okay. I think I said Veranium.
Vibranium. Oh, I was giving you the benefit. You should have just left it. I didn't.
Well,
even
you're gonna go back and listen to it anyways, and you're gonna say she was wrong.
We'll have all the comments, right? She said it wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
All the 3 people that are going to listen to our podcast
Exactly.
are going to comment.
Both are moms.
So yeah, so
Well,
that whole scene was hilarious though
That
too,
was.
because like, and that whole scene, like he was like looking to get shot.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was looking.
He was like right in this
He's like,
area.
want to get
with
crazy?
his
Let's
chest
get
poked
crazy.
out.
You know, like let's get crazy.
Only in this area, my chest.
Right. Nothing else. That's where they shoot. They only shoot in the bulletproof vests and the things that
Absolutely,
keep
yeah.
you alive.
I couldn't believe how good of a shot he was when he did shoot the Joker. I'm like, wow, that was far. Like, especially with those pistols, I'm sure they were really hard to aim.
Right.
But I was like, wow, he got that one really good.
Now, okay, there's 3 more actors we could talk about. Robert Wall, I think that's how he says his last name.
Who's that guy?
That's the reporter, Alex Knox.
Okay, he was annoying.
He was annoying. Okay.
But I think that was the point.
Well, it was supposed to be annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the Gotham thing.
I think he was supposed to be annoying.
Comic book. He was annoying.
And
but
he did a great job.
He did a great job being annoying.
Great job being annoying.
I know that guy's been in some stuff a lot back there, but I haven't seen him very much. And I think I've seen him, but like he's just. I didn't like him. I didn't like him either. I'll say that. Billy D. Williams, who played Harvey Dent.
Oh, that's Lando.
Yeah,
Is that the same actor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
he was great. I thought he was good. I mean, I wish he was in it more.
right,
Because we do know he's such a good actor.
And so that's why I brought him up. So he was supposed to play in several movies, and he was supposed to go on to play Two-Face. But in Batman Forever, the studios wanted Tommy Lee Jones, so they bought out
Seriously.
his contract so Tommy Lee Jones could do.
Now, was this before or after he was Lando?
No, this was way before. Like, I mean, this was after.
After, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So this was I just thought that was really interesting that he was supposed to be in it.
I thought maybe he was just doing it at the same time.
Harvey Dent, Harvey Dent is Two-Face, and so he,
right.
And then we've got Alfred, Michael Gough.
Amazing.
So
always amazing.
So iconic.
Yes.
Like,
how many has he been in?
He was in all 4 of them in the 90s.
Wow.
He was the only one that continued on.
Right.
And he was like, I remember.
How old was he when he started?
I know. He was. He did pass away in 2011. I think he was 91 at the time.
Wow.
And I knew he was super old. And I remember back in Batman and Robin, seeing Batman and Robin. I'm like, I think he really is dying. I think he's so old. No, but he did great. He did a great Alfred. He looked the part. He played it. He played it well.
I also wish he was in it more.
Right. Another good actor. So best acting, you gave it to Joker. You
yes.
gave it to, and Kim Basinger.
Yes.
And so worst acting. Do you have one for worst acting?
Not really. I don't want to say.
Don't want to say? You think Michael Keaton was that bad?
He was okay.
It was okay.
I mean, and again, if I had never seen any of the Batman movie, I probably would have given him props because he did. I feel like he did prove people wrong. He was able to be the character, and I do think he had a lot against him. Again, special effects. He didn't have any other Batmans to look back on, But now that I've seen the other Batmans, and this is just my opinion on how Batman should be. Again, I didn't raise up with comic books. I didn't read comic books. I didn't watch superhero movies. So I I think Val Kilmer and Christian Bale did the best at Batman, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people who like Michael Keaton, and I think he's a great actor. I think he did well in the role. I just don't think he was the best in this movie. But I think he did prove people wrong, though.
Yeah. I think he did. I think he did great. I mean, I think he did. Like you said, he did
do great, but the other character,
I said, Joker was stand out. Jack was stand out.
Yeah.
Vicky, Kim Basinger did a great job. I mean, she. When bringing this up, she was not originally cast.
Oh.
She was. Who was it?
I just love
Shane
her. She
Young,
did great and everything.
Shane Young. I'm not really sure, but she broke her collarbone on on a horseback riding accident, and they casted Kim Basinger a week before filming.
No way.
Yeah. So
wow, I'm even more impressed now.
Yeah. So she did great. I think she
amazing.
looks great in it. I think that blonde hair really contrasted with
her hair was awesome.
With the tone, yeah.
Loved her hair.
Yeah, I think it was.
Totally got to bring that back.
I'm not bringing back.
I'm not joking.
I'm not bringing back Michael Keaton's hair in this.
No. No, I'm not joking. I did love her hair.
I did too. I think it was. I think it was a great contrast, the blonde to the.
Although I did keep getting her mixed up with Joker's girl.
No, I understand.
I kept because they were both blonde, and you really never saw.
Well, he was trying to replace him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did realize that after, obviously, towards the middle part, but in the beginning, I'm like, is that the same girl? I was confused. I'm like, no, okay, it's 2 different girls.
All right, I do. I want to bring up the music of this.
Oh yes,
the
absolutely.
Music.
Yeah.
Like Danny Elfman, he did the music and it's so iconic.
Yeah, I love it.
It is amazing.
Yes, that was a standout, of course.
Just right off the rip, opening credits and stuff, and just throughout, he did it and Danny Elfman is he's done some great movies. He's done some good ones. He did other Tim Burton movies. He did a lot of Tim Burton. I looked at it, I'm like, wow, he did.
Too, right?
Yeah, he did that. Yeah. He did that, and then he did the Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh
The,
wow.
from the early 2000s, the Tobey Maguire ones.
Oh yeah.
He did that.
Great movie.
And then Men in Black, he did
Love
that.
those.
And you can just hear it all through that.
Yep.
So, love Danny Elfman
Definitely one of the
music.
greats for sure.
Yeah.
No, did he
then-
go on to do the next Batman?
He did Batman
Forever?
He did Batman Returns.
Returns.
Yeah, Batman Returns. I don't remember I don't remember seeing if he did the rest of them, but they took that same music, his music from the movie, and even it got adopted into the Batman animated series, which the animated series was like my childhood. Like that was like core memory of my childhood was Batman the animated series, X-Men, Spider-Man. Those animated series were like, I mean, that's a whole nother thing about the animated series on that. But that was a whole tone. The Tim Burton tone that they set in these movies, the look of it and the feel, like it just translated into the animated series and all that. It was like it was just it just redefined a lot of that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really great.
And the Prince music.
Which one?
The Prince. He's got. I guess he's got the. I think it was Prince when they did the
I don't know.
the
Oh,
scene.
is that what it was?
And then he did. And then the music and at the parade.
No, I was asleep. I was asleep during that scene.
But I think
Sorry.
the Prince. I'm like it's kind of. It probably worked for the time. It did not work anymore. It really.
I, they always
I
have
think
to
that
plug those in.
I
During
think
that
it
time.
really. I mean, obviously Prince was huge then. I think he. I think it really aged the movie though. The Prince music in it. But that didn't age as good as Danny Elfman's music. Definitely aged. It's still great to this day.
Oh well, I did want to talk about the Batmobile.
Okay. Yeah.
I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when the Batmobile came out, because I thought they did a good job of like, because I'm like, where's the Batmobile? Okay, where's
How long? It took a long time to get
it?
into
Did
it. It took a long
and
time.
then the Batcave? Like, is they not gonna show it?
Yeah.
And
it took a long
so I was underwhelmed with the Batcave, but I was very impressed with the Batmobile. It looked exactly like all the other ones that they've had.
It's just. I mean,
Which for the times, that's impressive.
So when they brought the people built the Batmobile for the movie, they took it to Tim Burton and were like, hey, this is the Batmobile. This is what we've got. He's like, looks great. Where's the doors? Yeah. They were like, where's the doors? And so that's where they came up with the cockpit style open up because they built it.
That's awesome.
They made
and they did it throughout all of the movies.
and that's a very
it's
the
very
way it's
iconic
done.
way,
They transformed it it kind of throughout the other ones.
I mean,
got
and the
a lot
way it
different.
moved and the way it drove, like, I don't know how they
Well, it
did
was
that,
so long.
but it was
No,
awesome.
Well, you had to take a turn with a grappling hook. You couldn't. It was so long.
True.
You had to have a grappling hook to wrap around the corner because it's so long. Probably the turn ratio was terrible. But yeah, I thought the Batmobile was great. I mean, it's just.
I was impressed. Like, I mean, again, like, because we've been watching the movie all along, and some of the fight scenes are underwhelming. The shots and the special effects on people getting shot and killed, like, it's non-existent. Non-existent.
Well, how about that? Okay, I thought Batman didn't kill. Like I thought Batman did. How many people did he kill in this movie? Oh, they were shot up people.
Was it by accident? Maybe by accident.
I was like, wow, Batman killed a lot more people than I remember in this
They
movie.
didn't look intentionally though.
No, I guess he knocked a guy off the bell tower down the chute. I'm like, that guy's dead. I'm like,
Oh, that's true. That's true.
he's like guns and how about when he blew up the chemical plant? Like there's people
yeah, that's
standing
true.
around and he just blows it to
That
smithereens.
was kind of weird.
All those guys are dead. I don't know how many people were in that.
That was also
the guys
impressed
are
with
gone.
that special effect. Don't know how they did it, but I was
I was like,
impressed.
that's probably small scale stuff
Probably.
or something. I'm like, I will say this about the scenes, the location. Like, that's one thing. Well, I think we'll talk about a lot in our podcast is the scenes and the locations and where these were taken. Like, you can really tell this was made in like a backlot
absolutely,
sound
yeah.
stage. Like, I mean, you can't get that type of buildings from like anywhere. Those are non-existent. So and you could tell it would just seem small at times.
Yes,
like
that
very
was one-
crowded.
yeah.
Like you could tell like
It was very
they were
small.
trying to keep the cameras from pointing different certain
Pointing at each
ways,
other.
pointing certain ways because it was like nothingness. It was going to be that
Or
direction.
people over there.
Yeah. So
It did seem very small. That was another thing. I couldn't figure out what it was. There was something weird about it. But yeah, that's what it was.
I think it was
small
yeah.
sets. Yeah.
Smaller sets and stuff. I mean, they were beautifully done for what they were trying to make it separate, to
Yeah.
make Gotham look like Gotham. But I'll tell you what my favorite scene was. Just thinking about it, because we're gonna get to this. We'll talk about you talked about the Batmobile. How about the Bat plane? Now we'll wrap this into my favorite scene. The scene of him going up into the moon.
Yeah.
The iconic look from him, just like perfectly placed in the moon to get the bat signal.
Yes.
And then falling back down, like so cool, so cool.
I didn't have the same
Like
feeling
it still
as
holds
you,
up.
but
It still holds up.
I do remember that part.
I think that still holds up. I mean, it's campy, it's
Yeah.
comic-y, but it
see
still
that
holds
now,
up.
yeah.
So, and that was kind of hard. Like you could tell some of these were like small scaled, and then like the way it was whipping around and stuff. But I think it was so funny when we were watching it and you saw it, and then like the Joker pulls out this long gun and just one shot takes out a plane. You're like, he's shooting missiles and like machine guns off of it, doesn't hit anything, can't hit the broadside of a barn, and he shoots out one gun. You're like, okay, we had to do it. We had to get back to her somehow, you
That's
know.
right.
So that was kind of funny. I didn't really like that, but like the way he took the balloons away and stuff was kind of jerky at times.
Yeah.
Didn't look real at times, but it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. It was kind of understood.
But it still made up. It still made up for it with the
with the iconic
with the moon shot. That made up for all the weirdness. So how about the you did so the special effect? We talked about special effects of the CGI. How that's just like. It was 1989. We just have to take it. I remember seeing. I saw his wires. Batman's wires.
Mentioned that
I mentioned like
time,
during
yeah.
one. I was like, "That's not from a grappling gun." They're like, he's gliding across there with. You can still see the cable.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, now they would correct it and CGI that out,
Right.
and there was probably a lot of it had to do with the way it looked. It's because now we're in like. The way it was shot then, now we're in 4K,
It was very flat. Yeah, the way it was.
But now,
flat.
now they everything's just high def and everything now. So it's like you're going to see a lot of that nowadays on these bigger screens and stuff. So some of the quotes in
you
this,
got quotes?
I got. So you have the famous, "I'm Batman."
Yeah.
Who are you? I'm Batman.
I love that they did that at the very beginning.
Originally, that was supposed to be I am the Knight.
Oh.
And Michael Keaton wanted to change it to I'm Batman. So
I like
you
that
got
better.
that. Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do that then.
Yeah, so
like
I
that they
like
did
the
that at the
Batman.
beginning.
Yeah. And he was like a legend, like an urban legend at the time when he,
Yeah.
and so like he's coming out having to defend the city, this is his early days of Batman. Apparently they didn't really believe he was out there. So, and then you have the have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yes, that was great. I love
The Joker,
that.
he went there, and that was great.
I've even heard that one.
Yeah. The you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Like I just think it's hilarious. And then okay, I don't want to spend much time on this, but Michael Keaton is Batman in the recent Flash movie.
Yes.
And brought that whole thing back. Like we won't get into it, the Flash, but there was a part in there where he says that in the Flash movie is you want to get nuts, let's get nuts, and that's where that's from.
Yeah.
And so I just think it was too nostalgic for a lot of people him being in that movie, but the Joker has so many good ones. Yeah, wait till they get a load of me. That was good, and then. You can call me Joker, but you can see, and as you see, I'm a lot happier.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to do these voices. I'm gonna have to scale it back. I cannot do the voice.
We'll spare you.
Yeah, spare you. I started to, and then I'm like, I'll just read them. Then I made you. You made me first. That was that was pretty good.
Good one.
There's a lot of good gags though in this, like.
What the Joker did?
The Joker had
Yeah.
some good gags, like
What was his thing?
the Joker with the bang gun. like she was
Yes.
gonna kill herself,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Vicky's like her jump scare
That was
on
great,
that.
yeah.
That was great.
And the handshake
The
thing.
handshake was,
Yeah.
yeah, and we talked about a lot of those. The punch, the punch of the boxing glove into the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so jokery.
And I love that because we missed that with Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's was so dark. I liked the campy part of that because it is after a comic book.
Yeah.
And it was good for the times.
Yeah. Well, the Joker is like he keeps you. You can't figure him out. Like
Right.
you're gonna keep him guessing. Like he keeps you guessing. Like you never know what he's gonna do. What he's got up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
the flower.
the flower
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
acid. You
That
know.
was good.
He used that a couple of times.
He
So
utilized that tool many times.
as I always said, this town needs an enema.
Yeah. That was so good.
I can use that. A lot of people are like, my work needs an enema.
Oh, no joke.
Okay, now we're closing up. Now we're working on our rating system.
Okay, so I think
So-
we should say rating system 1 to 5 rewatch level.
Rewatch level, or
Yeah.
should we just do? If it's his movie, should just her do the rating,
Okay.
or we both do it? His and her rating. So what? Okay, what would you get out of? We'll just say stars.
Okay.
We'll do stars, and we would change.
How many?
We want to change 5 stars
Okay.
if this changes.
1
to,
being the worst, 5 being
well, I guess you can go
best.
0. I mean, I guess.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I mean, we'll do half stars too. We don't have to be just solid
Oh,
stars.
that's lame.
I know some people hate that. Some
I
people
know.
don't mind it. It's like,
So
why don't
it's
you just do
just-
1 out of 10 then? Then you do half 10s, and so
There you go. So would this be like 1 out of 5, I'm going to rewatch it again, or 1 out of 5?
no, I guess not rewatch. I mean, I guess for what it was, I always judge on how it was, and I always take into account when this movie came out. Like,
Yeah.
I can't compare it to like, the Batman with Robert Pattinson or Christian Bale, or I can't. Those are different. Those
Yeah.
for the times, for 1989. And especially the impact, like I take all that kind of into account, but I always take out when it came out into account when I'm watching these older movies. I don't get caught up in that. So, but I mean, you boo. But what do you think? Like, I mean, this
So
is,
you want me to just rate it?
you rate it. Like, you're not hurt my feelings.
Okay.
But if it's not a 5-star, I'm mad. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's definitely
No,
not a
I'm
5
just
star.
kidding. I don't think it's a 5-star, but
I would give it a 3.
a 3. Okay.
I would say 3, and I am a lot like middle of the road with it. Like I said, kind of in the beginning. Like
I mean, you're not going to rewatch it.
no, I did fall asleep. So
You did fall asleep, but it was like 11:30 when we finished watching it,
It's
and
true.
we had been up early and a lot going on.
yes, but
Like, I mean, I was tired. I was struggling.
yeah,
to
it
watch
didn't hold my attention. But I think that also is because I am more accustomed to the
you were
fast moving movies.
But you were excited, and in all fairness, you were excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Like you're like, let's go ahead and watch it.
I like
Let's go
watching
watch
movies
it.
that I'm not necessarily would pick for myself.
Right.
I think that's exciting, and I think it helps, broaden your knowledge of other movies,
Yeah.
But no, I would give it a 3. I think for the time, if I had not seen any other Batman movie, I might not have rated it that low, but I feel like 3 is fair.
No, that's I get it. Yeah.
And,
I
I
mean,
feel
it's not a
like-
wrong answer, but
No, there's not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But I think I like the nostalgic of it. Like, even though it's not nostalgic for me, I can see how it would be for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the directing, the writing was really good. The acting was great. And I think I went in with it with not, like, I know I said I had no perceived
Preconceived ideas?
Yeah, preconceived ideas on how it would be, but I did think it was going to be pretty bad. And again, I think I told you, or we just discovered in this podcast that I thought it was going to be like the TV shows, and so that's one reason why I felt like I was impressed. I liked
Good.
it.
Oh, good.
Would I rewatch it again? Probably not.
No, it'll be a while. I mean, I don't think I could rewatch it. I mean, unless somebody want to rewatch it with me, I might go out there, go turn it on by myself and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Like I said, these are ones that you really, and sometimes these movies are better remembered than rewatched. But
That's true. That's a good tagline. Better remembered than rewatched.
but I think that's the fun part about what we're trying to do is to rewatch some of these like that and see how they hold up. It's the whole point of the rewatch. You know, I think a 3 is a good number. I think we should keep it where the other person rates it.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I promise not to give everything a 3.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, well, I don't want to give it a 2, but a 3.5 is too generous. So I think 3 is good.
No, that's fair. No, it's fair.
Well, it brings us to what we're going to do next time.
Yeah.
So next time is my turn.
Yeah, it's going to be, so the first one is the his, and so next we're going to the hers.
Yeah, so that's mine. And we kind of went back and forth on how we wanted to do it. Like, should we just pick any movie that kind of represents what we like, our type of feel, or should we try to keep it in the same year, the same...
We might get there,
you know,
like try to keep it similar, but I think the first two, I think we talked about, we wanted to set a precedent on what
our style.
Our styles and what to expect, the audience to expect.
Yeah.
We're not just going to pull some, because you came up with one, I ain't even heard of it before. I'm like, I don't even like, let's make it something like most people
You're
know.
like familiar with.
Familiar, like, or at least like, you know,
well, I feel like
an iconic movie, like, because I think we do want to
that
do
one was, and it will be
popular.
on the list.
We do want to do popular iconic movies.
Yeah.
You know, I think most of them will be out of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Yeah.
We'll jump around, but so
my favorite.
So all the anticipation, it's killing everybody. I'm sure. Like,
I know, what is it gonna be?
What is her pick gonna be?
So this is a very special movie to me. Every time I watch it now, I think back and think, oh my God, I can't believe my parents let me watch this movie. Like, I'm not going to let my daughter watch it for a very long time, but I think I was her age when I watched it first. But that is Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Yes, Pretty Woman is our next movie to watch.
We should look up where to find these, so if people want to watch these movies before.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, where did we watch Batman from?
So that was on Max. It's
okay.
Previously known as HBO Max.
I was like, is that HBO?
They have
Max?
like a lot of those.
I think Pretty Woman is on Amazon Prime.
Is it?
I'm not gonna lie, I watched it last year. I think I watched Pretty Woman at least once a year. And that's what I felt like maybe wasn't as fair, because I have a connection with Pretty Woman. Like, I'm probably going to be offended if you don't like it. And Caleb has said he has not watched this movie all the way through, at least. I think you said you've seen bits and pieces.
I've definitely seen it somewhere.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which, I mean, I've seen with you watching it. I'm sure.
Yeah, but you never saw the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, it's an iconic movie, so if you haven't seen any clips or scenes from it, you're living under a rock.
Right. Let's see. I'm going to type in Pretty Woman where to watch.
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
I think it's Amazon Prime. Where to watch? Amazon. It's premium subscription on Amazon Prime. So we'll have those ready to go. Like, next time we do a podcast, we'll have it already.
Yes, where to watch it.
Where to watch it, so we're not Googling it in the middle of it. But anyway, so if you want to rewatch Pretty Woman
before we do,
and then Megan's got to do all the research.
Yeah,
you know, I'll do some of the research. She doesn't have time to do it like all the research and stuff.
This is your podcast. I'm the co-host.
But you probably need to do some and bring up.
I will.
Bring us some stuff that I wouldn't have thought about.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
They're 1989 like Batman stuff that I just knew to look at. So, and then Pretty Woman, I'm like, look.
I probably already know a lot.
Probably. You probably quote it.
Yeah.
You quoted years ago. No.
I love this movie. I'm so excited because I still can't believe there's a lot of movies that I love that I still can't believe we've never watched together. It's so weird. I don't know why.
I don't know if it's out of respect for each other that we're not making each other watch these.
Maybe. I feel like now is a good reason to make each other watch them. And I think a lot of it is just because I know, or I think you wouldn't like it.
Right.
And I mean, it's not really made for you. So I understand. Right. But I do hope that you have an open perspective I did on
definitely.
It and
I will.
Not go in it
I'm not going
cringing.
I'm not going to stomp all over your childhood memories and make you cry on the podcast because I said something bad about it. But that's fun about rewatching it. Things that work and don't work, and the things that
Julia
I see.
Roberts and Richard Gere always work. So
we'll see. Oh, so that's great. All right. Well, we never prepared an outro for this, so
Bye.
so thanks for listening, not watching. We'll set up. Should we set
For
up
rewatching.
So rewatching. Should we set up a video sometimes? Do you think we
Not for a
should
while.
do? Not for a while. I know we're gonna do this in our pajamas.
We're in our pajamas currently at our kitchen table.
Not a cool background.
Definitely not. Let's clean up a little bit.
Right. So, anyways, thanks for listening and caring and supporting us. As Jet would say, like and subscribe. We'll get some.
Yeah, but leave some feedback. We would definitely like some feedback. If you have some movies that you would want to suggest.
Yeah,
you know,
for his and hers.
I know Caleb has a long list of movies. I have not even thought about. I mean, I've thought about a couple, but some of them we have watched together before. So I want to think of some more that you haven't. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, at least for me, anyways.
We'll get a social media. I'm assuming we'll have some social media stuff going. We don't have that set up now, right?
No.
But find us on the socials. We'll have next time. We'll be like. Have a name for it.
Yeah, follow us there.
Follow us there, and
but right now, don't follow us anywhere.
Yeah, no. You're about just following us as on our personal pages.
Yeah. Hey, and if you listen this far, great, thank you, love you.
I don't even know how long this is because the way it's recording, I have no idea how long this is. That's a big number on here.
Great,
but it's like it's got to be an hour and a half.
Oh, for sure. You're gonna have to do a lot of cutting.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks. We'll see you next time on the His and Her Rewatch podcast. Bye.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.